Okay, and I've gone through a lot of direct-to-video and all that, and I've gone through some movies and people have commented, from the Santa Claus one, it was more like, I think I'll just stick with Silent Night, Deadly Night. And of course, I'll be honest, the 80s was a phenomenal time for the slasher genre. Just a phenomenal time. You had so many characters coming out, and most of them were different enough to make them all interesting. Now, this one, when it first came out, I remember, of course I was like 5 at the time, when this one first came out, it was all over the news because they actually showed Santa Claus, or a Santa-like figure, on a killing spree. Now remember, 25 years ago, that was a huge taboo to show Santa Claus, a beloved child icon, as a killer. That was... that was absolutely huge when it first came out. And of course, you end up having... Now it's kind of cliches, Essentially, you have a young boy who witnesses his parents being killed by a dude in a Santa suit. And then he goes to stereotypical Catholic orphanages, and, he's kind of like I'll just say the black sheep, for lack of a better term. Actually, that works well for Catholics, black sheep. And also it's like, and over time, he has that aggression that he just can't seem to get out. Which then, of course, leads to him becoming what? Leads to them being a different take on Santa Claus. We always hear, okay, naughty and nice list. If you're good, you get good stuff. If you're bad, you get cold. Different. This Santa Claus actually punishes people. Okay. That of course, is kind of different. To actually look at Santa Claus from the naughty, nice, if you're nice you get gifts, if you're naughty, well, you get coal. That's not a bad gift, versus, oh, you're naughty, Santa's going to punish you. Okay. And then if that's what you're brought up with, then you see Santa killing your folks. And then, years later, you kind of hit that whole, oh, no, let's draw Christmassy things. And if you only know Santa as kind of being a bad guy, you're not going to draw really good pictures. You're going to draw a fairly evil, kind of disturbing looking Santa Claus, because in your mind, Santa Claus actually kills people. Which then leads him becoming what? A killer Santa Claus. Now, the weird thing about some of these is that when you sit back and go, alright, so exactly how is this one superior to other movies? Well, you see the child go through the whole life process, and knowing that Santa Claus, rewards the good, punishes the bad. And then you begin to idolize that idea of, you know what? I should punish the bad people. And how does he do it? Dressing like Santa Claus. Why? That's what Santa does. That is a tremendous way to do a slasher flick. As opposed to just, he's a random dude, or, yeah, he killed somebody and then he went crazy. This was he started out, his innocence was lost. It's entirely ruined. Which then led to him kind of taking up a different look of Santa Claus. A different idea of perception. He's not the nice guy at the mall. He's the nice guy at the mall who will occasionally beat and kill people. Because sometimes, if you're bad, you're on the naughty side, you deserve punishment. And then going, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I am going to start killing people just as Santa. With an axe. And you know what? This is a very good settings. The 80s, something's kind of cheesy, but they knew how to set a mood. They knew how to put you in that mind frame. And they knew how to take a simple idea, like a killer Santa, give it some honor, give it some respect, and make it a phenomenal movie. I'm not going to review the rest of them because essentially this one is a gem. If you're looking forward to some sort of, Christmas horror movie, this is a hard one to top. This one's probably like the last one to review, but I'll be honest. Sometimes you go from like the low point to a high point, and then you might have to go a little bit low again. Do you have ideas for my next one? Oh yeah. We're going to do a segue right now? No. I'm going to keep this one for the topic at hand. And then, of course, Silent Night, Deadly Night. By far, one of the best Christmas-based horror movies.